Hi, movie buffs! Today we will recap the journey of Deadpool in the Marvel Universe. So buckle up! It all starts with our anti-hero Deadpool. He doesn't want to be a good guy, so he believes himself to be an anti-hero. He books a cab and gets bored just a few minutes into the ride. Being mischievous, he crawls into the front seat to chat with the driver, Dopinder. He notices a photo of a beautiful young woman. Dopinder tells him her name is
Gita,
and that he loves her, but she's dating her cousin. Deadpool advises him to hold on to love, saying it's rare and mentioning his own mistakes that cost him his love. Dopinder then asks why he's wearing a red suit. Deadpool explains that he's been waiting for over a year to get revenge on the person who ruined his face.
Boo!
The movie shifts to the man named Ajax Deadpool wants revenge on. He is making a deal with a military head to deliver mutant humans he creates in his lab through experiments. He assures the military head that the shipment will be ready next month. They then part ways. Meanwhile, Deadpool, still in the car, realizes
I forgot my ammo bag!
He can't go back now and risk missing his opportunity. With only 12 bullets, he decides to make the best use of them. He bids goodbye to Dopinder and waits on top of a bridge. After a few minutes, he spots the cars he's been waiting for.
Maximum effort.
He jumps onto one of them, starting a fight. He throws one man onto the back of the car, and to take down a motorcyclist with a gun, he kicks another man into the motorcyclist. The man in the back of the car tries to crawl back, but Deadpool hits the driver and slams the accelerator, causing the car to crash into the one in front, creating total chaos. As the car flips through the air from the impact, Deadpool grabs one of the motorcyclists. A man got shot at the banner. Meanwhile, the news of the incident is broadcast on television. Colossus, another mutant, sees the report and realizes Deadpool is behind the chaos. Frustrated with Deadpool's childish behavior, he meets with Negasonic, another mutant, and they head to the scene in their massive aircraft. At the scene, people are fleeing their vehicles as armed men search for Deadpool. He emerges from a car window and yells at them to hold their fire. He explains that he wears a red suit so the bad guys can't see him bleed and that he only has 12 bullets left. He jumps into the air and shoots two men. A motorcyclist shoots Deadpool, but his body regenerates, and he shoots back, missing 3 bullets. Now down to 8 bullets, he shoots another man hiding nearby. To avoid machine gun fire, Deadpool runs between cars, taking cover. When a guy climbs up a car to shoot him, Deadpool, lying there relaxing, shoots him, having counted his bullets and knowing he's out of ammo. Another man tries to throw a grenade at Deadpool, but Deadpool shoots it in his hand, causing a huge explosion that kills 2 men. Deadpool dances to celebrate but gets shot from behind. As the shooter approaches, thinking Deadpool is dead, Deadpool shoots him. 3 more men come to kill him, but they line up in front of each other, and Deadpool shoots all 3 with 1 bullet. While searching for more men, a mutant stands up to attack him, but Deadpool draws his sword and kills him. To understand how Deadpool got here, we need to know his backstory. 2 years ago, Wade, as he was known then, trespassed into a house to confront a delivery boy named Jeremy. Wade threatened Jeremy, who stalked girls after his delivery job, warning him to stay away from Megan or face the consequences. Terrified, Jeremy agreed. Later, Wade met up with Megan, who had hired him to deal with Jeremy. Wade delivered pictures of Jeremy holding a sorry card. Relieved, Megan hugged him and called him her hero. But Wade refused the title, saying he's not a hero but a bad guy who gets paid to beat up worse guys. Later, Wade goes to a bar called Sister Margaret, where his friend Weasel works. As soon as he enters the bar, he causes chaos, leading to a fight. Weasel checks on the guy Wade fought with and confirms he's still breathing. The disappointed crowd returns to drinking. During Wade and Weasel's conversation, it's revealed that even Weasel bet on Wade to die in the bar's betting game called Deadpool. A girl named Vanessa approaches Wade, and he asks what he can get for $275. Vanessa replies that he can do whatever he wants with her for 48 minutes. Instead of something typical, Wade takes her to a gaming zone where they play games and earn lots of prize tickets. Their 48 minutes end, but they decide to stay together for the night. They become intimate and continue dating. One Christmas, Vanessa mentions how good the color red looks on Wade. During their conversation, Wade proposes to her, and Vanessa happily agrees. They take a picture to mark the moment. Shortly after, Wade feels unwell and faints. The doctor later informs them that Wade has cancer in his liver, lungs, prostate, and brain. Heartbroken, Vanessa discusses treatment options, while Wade, lost in thought, wonders when he might see her for the last time. Back in the present, Deadpool continues his hunt for Ajax, pursuing a biker he believes is his enemy. He throws his sword at the biker's wheel, knocking him down, and then kicks him. Deadpool removes the biker's helmet to confirm it's his target and then slashes his sword into him. Ajax, not recognizing Deadpool due to his mask, prompts Deadpool to reveal himself. Ajax remembers Wade and tells him he should thank him for making him immortal instead of killing him. Just as Deadpool is about to smash Ajax's brains out, Colossus shows up and throws Deadpool away. At that moment, Deadpool recalls what happened after his cancer diagnosis. A few days after the test results, Wade prepares for hospitalization, knowing his illness is incurable. He doesn't want Vanessa to see him dying, so he plans to leave while he's still relatively healthy. Vanessa insists she won't abandon him. Before being hospitalized, Wade meets his friend Weasel at the bar. Weasel gives him a card, saying a man is waiting for him. Wade meets Agent Smith, who reveals he works for an organization that can cure Wade's cancer and give him superpowers, making him a better soldier. Wade initially believes it's a hoax and leaves, but the conversation keeps him awake that night. Not wanting to drag Vanessa down with him, he decides to take his chances. In the present, Deadpool hits Colossus again, who tries to convince Deadpool to join the X-Men. Deadpool, uninterested in joining the good guys, tries to get Colossus out of the way to finish his revenge. While they argue, Ajax escapes. Realizing this, Deadpool slaps Colossus, breaking his fist. He punches Colossus in the crotch with the same result. With both fists broken, he kicks Colossus and breaks his leg. Fed up, Colossus decides to take Deadpool with him. He handcuffs Deadpool and drags him toward his aircraft. However, Deadpool cuts off his hand and jumps off the bridge, giving Colossus the finger. He lands on a truck below. Deadpool reflects on the decision that led him to his terrible situation. The exact moment his life was turned upside down, when he agreed to participate in the experiment for Vanessa. Upon entering the lab, Wade saw the experiments being conducted on people and realized he had gotten himself into a huge mess. He was harshly strapped onto a stretcher where Ajax arrived. Ajax explained that he manages the illegal workshop and that to give Wade superhero powers, they would need to subject him to extreme stress by torturing him until the mutant gene in his DNA activated. The process would be excruciatingly painful. Ajax, once a subject of this process himself, had developed the mutant power of being unable to feel pain. Each person gets different powers depending on their genes. Ajax then injected Wade with a yellow serum designed to activate the mutant gene in his DNA. Over time, Wade was subjected to extreme torture. One day, while discussing with another subject what they wanted to do after they got out, Wade shared that he wanted to see Vanessa. Just then, Ajax arrived. Wade revealed that he knew Ajax's real name was not Ajax, but Francis. Annoyed, Ajax informed Wade that they would be stepping up the torture. They will lower the oxygen concentration in the air to the exact point where he feels suffocated. When his brain waves will slow down, they will turn up the oxygen again. When his heart rate begins slowing, they will turn it down again. When he was about to be tortured, Ajax laughed, revealing to Wade that they weren't making superheroes but super slaves. Ajax then subjected Wade to a weekend of intense torture. The process drove Wade's survival instincts to the limit, causing his skin to burn and transforming him into something unrecognizable. Ajax was proud of his experiment, especially as Wade's cancer started regressing, but he wasn't satisfied and wanted to torture Wade more out of sheer cruelty. Wade developed an intense hatred for Ajax. During one session, as Ajax's sidekick, Angel was closing the lid on his torture chamber, Wade managed to headbutt her and take the matchstick from her mouth. After Ajax left, Wade ignited the matchstick and threw it near the oxygen filters, causing an explosion that blasted the entire workshop. Ajax rushed to find out what had happened and discovered Wade had escaped. Wade attacked Ajax with all his remaining strength, but hesitated to kill him when Ajax claimed to be the only one who could fix Wade's disfigured face. Seizing the opportunity, Ajax overpowered Wade, stabbing him with a metal bar that pierced his heart. Sometime later, Wade awoke covered in ashes. He realized his superpower was his body's ability to regenerate and heal any injuries. Determined to see Vanessa, he followed her, but noticed people looking at him in disgust because of his appearance. He decided not to ruin her life, and left. Wade then met up with Weasel and recounted his ordeal. Wade wanted to find Ajax to fix his face and then kill him. Weasel suggested he wear a mask to hide his identity and keep Ajax thinking he was dead. Wade decided to call himself Deadpool and sewed his anti-hero costume. His first attempt at a costume was a white sweatshirt and a mask made from a cotton shirt. However, this outfit got stained red after his mission, so he adopted a new strategy and sewed a red suit to disguise the blood. After a few missions, Wade improved his suit and used the skills he acquired as a mercenary to go after Ajax's henchmen, as Ajax had disappeared. Wherever Deadpool went, he collected kills and barely managed to interrogate his targets, often eliminating them before they had a chance to speak. After several months, Wade found the same guy who had recruited him trying to attract a new victim. Deadpool chased him through the streets and captured him. After some torture sessions, he extracted the information he needed to find Ajax. Deadpool then takes the cab where he meets Dopinder, bringing us back to the present moment of our story. He shares his home with a blind lady named Al. Meanwhile, Ajax arrives at his safe house. Now aware of the true identity of the man in the red suit, he begins to devise a plan to attack him. Whereas Wade gets ready for bed, Al sits down next to him on the couch. Wade thanks her for all the support he has received over the past few months. To show his gratitude, he uses his micro hand to touch her face, and Al advises him to go after Vanessa. Al believes that if Vanessa loves Wade, she will accept him regardless of his appearance. However, Wade doesn't want Vanessa to see him like that and wants to get his face fixed first. Sometime later, Ajax and Angel visit Weasel's bar. Ajax inquires about Wade, but Weasel denies knowing him. Just then, Ajax sees a picture of Wade and Vanessa and takes it. Angel grabs Weasel by the neck and lifts him into the air. All the people at the bar then draw their guns and point them at her. Ajax orders her to let him go, and they leave. Weasel calls Wade and informs him about Ajax's visit. Wade and Weasel decide to go and meet Vanessa, but Wade can't gather the courage. He was scared of how she might react after seeing his face. He uses the restroom to talk himself into doing it. Meanwhile, Vanessa's manager informs her that someone is waiting for her outside and wants to talk about Wade. Hoping to get any information on Wade, she goes out. Outside, she sees a hooded man hiding in the dark and believes it is Wade. However, to her surprise, Ajax reveals himself. She tries to escape, but Angel captures her. Wade comes out of the restroom to search for Vanessa but cannot find her. He finds her purse lying outside on the street and realizes Ajax kidnapped her. Immediately, Wade and Weasel return home, and Wade is furious, destroying everything in his path. Suddenly, he receives a message from Ajax sent on Vanessa's phone. Ajax wants to meet him at the junkyard at noon. Deadpool takes all the weapons he finds in the house and puts them in a bag. Before he leaves, he thanks Al for taking him in and being there for him. He loves her for taking care of him. Deadpool also bids farewell to Weasel. Since he is at a disadvantage in that battle, Deadpool decides to take help from Colossus and Negasonic. He goes to the X-Men mansion and informs them that Ajax has his girlfriend, and since it was their fault that Ajax managed to escape, they should help him find her. They all take a cab ride with Dopinder. Deadpool asks him about his love life, and Dopinder reveals he has his cousin in the trunk and will kill him to get Gita. Deadpool advises him not to do that. The trio arrives at the location, but Deadpool forgets his duffel bag with all the guns in the car. He calls Dopinder. As Dopinder picks up the call, he crashes the car into the truck ahead. With no choice left, they decide to continue without the guns. Suddenly, dozens of armed soldiers surround the trio, and Angel appears to stop them from crossing the barrier. Colossus decides to confront her, but is knocked down with a single punch, shocking Deadpool. Negasonic intervenes and uses her energy to attack Angel. Ajax orders the soldiers to shoot, and Colossus throws a truck tire to knock them out. Angel attacks him while Colossus and Angel face off. Deadpool and Negasonic hide behind a mountain of rubble to avoid being hit by bullets. Wade then rips off his underwear to use as a peace flag. Seeing this, the soldiers stop firing. Deadpool emerges and says he will spare them if they put down their weapons. The soldiers start firing again. With no option left, Deadpool attacks them with his swords. Negasonic helps Deadpool get to the second floor of the junkyard where Ajax has kept Vanessa. When he finally comes face to face with his enemy again, Deadpool spots Vanessa trapped inside the oxygen chamber and promises to save her. He then tells her that she was right when she said red suits him. Hearing this, Vanessa realizes it is indeed Wade. Ajax cuts off the oxygen in the chamber, making Vanessa struggle. He then takes 2 axes and attacks Deadpool. They exchange a few blows, and Wade throws one of his swords into the chamber so that the oxygen from outside can get in. Meanwhile, Colossus continues to get beaten by Angel, who uses a metal cable to choke him. With the help of the sword, Vanessa manages to free herself from the restraints that hold her in the chamber. Deadpool and Ajax are still fighting, and Ajax pulls out a small knife hidden in Deadpool's suit to attack him. Ajax attacks his head and continues punching his face. Just then, Vanessa manages to get out of the oxygen chamber and uses her sword to stab Ajax in the back. Deadpool is unable to stand up, much less think clearly. Seeing Vanessa lying on the ground, he begins to imagine little cartoon creatures around her. He then signals to her that he loves her. Ajax gets up and attacks Vanessa. In an attempt to save Colossus, Negasonic uses the full strength of her powers, causing a huge explosion that destroys the entire perimeter. By this time, Deadpool has managed to recover from the damage to his head and attacks Ajax while trying to prevent Vanessa from being crushed by the containers. As the second floor is falling and their bodies are sliding down, just then, the whole place collapses. After a few minutes, Colossus saves Vanessa, covered by debris. Deadpool and Ajax also roll down the debris. At the first opportunity, Deadpool breaks both of Ajax's arms. He then demands Ajax to fix his face. Ajax laughs and states that his face can never be fixed. There is no cure. Deadpool decides to kill him with his small gun attached to his suit, but Colossus stops him and asks him to spare Ajax. He tells Deadpool about how he can be a good guy and a hero, explaining that there are a few moments in life that make someone a hero.
Why?
Colossus and Negasonic watch from the sidelines as Wade tries to explain himself to Vanessa. She is furious at him for leaving her without any information. Wade asks her forgiveness for leaving without saying goodbye and never coming back to tell her what happened. Wade explains that he was afraid to talk to Vanessa because the guy under that mask is not the same guy she remembers. Vanessa then removes the mask and is confronted with Wolverine's face mask. They both laugh, and Wade confirms if she is sure. She removes the mask and is startled by what she sees, but says that after a period of adjustment and a few drinks, she will be happy to kiss that face. Colossus and Negasonic are surprised by Vanessa's reaction, and Wade thanks them and asks them to return. Vanessa doesn't need much time to get used to the new appearance and kisses him like old times. Afterwards, Deadpool and Vanessa started living a happy life together. Deadpool started eliminating criminals that are associated with powerful organizations. Once during their anniversary, Deadpool went on a mission to eliminate a criminal gang led by a man called Sergey. He blows up his narcotics lab while Sergey hides in a panic room and sees everything from the control panel. After eliminating everyone, Deadpool asks Sergey to leave the control room and surrender. But Sergey calls for reinforcements. Deadpool is forced to run back to Dopinder's cab. Hearing the gunshots, Dopinder speeds up the cab and they escape. Deadpool reaches home late for his anniversary. Vanessa is annoyed at him for being late. Wade apologizes to her and gives her an arcade token card from the game they played when they first met. In return, Vanessa gives him her birth control in a box, signaling that she now wants to have a child. Happy with the idea of becoming parents, the couple begins to discuss baby names. Suddenly, Wade realizes that there is someone outside and asks Vanessa to hide, preventing her from being hit by a shotgun blast. Just then, Sergei enters the house and shoots at Wade, but misses and hits Vanessa. The bullet goes through her heart, and she dies. Wade jumps out of his apartment window and goes after Sergei, but is run over in the middle of the street, giving Sergei a chance to escape. Luckily, a few meters ahead, a pickup truck hits Sergei's car. Sergei tries to restart the vehicle but fails and is caught by Wade, who hugs him in the middle of the street until they are run over by an ambulance. After Vanessa's demise, Wade becomes hopeless. In a state of grief and shock, he visits Al and shares what happened, blaming himself for putting Vanessa's life in danger. He is guilt-stricken. Al is sorry for his loss and tries to comfort him, but nothing can convince Wade that what happened was not his fault. He loved Vanessa too much and was unable to forgive himself. During the next few days, he tries to take his own life by numerous methods. He jumps into a bear cage and even off a high-story building. He blows himself up with 200 gallons of high-test fuel. After his body blows up into pieces in a kind of purgatory, Wade meets Vanessa's soul. Happy to finally see her again, Wade tries to reach out to her but realizes an invisible wall separates them. Wanting to touch her one last time, Wade begins to call out to her, but Vanessa says his heart is not yet in the right place. Not understanding what she means, Wade desperately tries to touch her, but is pulled back to the real world. At that moment, Colossus arrives at the apartment where Wade is in pieces in a bag. Colossus takes him to the X-Mansion. After they assemble Wade back, Colossus asks Wade to become an X-Men member, but Wade, still grieving, believes he isn't X-Men material. Just then, Negasonic enters with her girlfriend Yukio and encourages him to join. Wade attempts to escape by stealing Professor Xavier's wheelchair, but is easily captured by Colossus. Wade insists he just wants to kill himself, but Colossus assures him that he is now part of their family and they will stick by his side. Overwhelmed, Wade hugs Colossus, feeling his buttocks. Meanwhile, a kid named Russell arrives at the Essex Orphanage, an institute that tries to cure mutants. The local director, a psychopath, believes people with the X gene are sick and must be killed. He takes all the kids to watch Russell being electrocuted. After days of suffering, Russell becomes tired and frustrated. His superpower is fire, and he uses it against the staff, causing chaos. When the police can't handle the situation, they call the X-Men to contain Russell. Wade joins them. Deadpool, Colossus, and Negasonic arrive at the scene. Deadpool slowly approaches the kid, calmly talking him out of doing anything rash. But Russell, afraid, shoots a fireball at Deadpool, hitting Negasonic instead. Deadpool continues to approach Russell, who remains suspicious and attacks him again, hitting Colossus. Realizing the boy is a threat, Deadpool draws his weapons, but Colossus reminds him that the first rule of the X-Men is never to take a life. Deadpool puts away his guns and tries to gain Russell's trust, but the director leaves the institute, causing Russell to lose control again. In a rage, Russell attacks Deadpool, who falls into a room on the 3rd floor. Tired of Russell's behavior, Deadpool jumps from the building and throws his sword at Russell, knocking him unconscious. The police put a power-neutralizing collar on Russell, making it impossible for him to use his abilities unless a grenade blasts the collar off or with the passcode. The director thanks Deadpool and says his employees will take responsibility for the boy. Hearing this, Russell begs to be taken anywhere but the Institute. Deadpool sees marks on Russell's neck and realizes the Institute caused them. Deadpool then suddenly gave the speech that Colossus gave him a while back, explaining that there are a few moments in life that make someone a hero. He then shoots one of the Institute's staff. Colossus slams into Deadpool, stopping him, and threatens to kill him for shooting someone. Deadpool explains that the Institute was torturing the kid. Colossus argues that they are not judges and cannot condemn anyone, The police put a power-neutralizing collar on Deadpool as well. Deadpool and Russell are taken to the Ice Box, one of the largest prisons for mutants in the United States. Inside, Russell suggests they form an alliance with the strongest inmate, but Deadpool advises against it. He says the strongest man here is Juggernaut. One day, Russell instigates a fight with other prisoners, causing them to beat up Deadpool too. Deadpool gets tired and says he doesn't want to be friends with Russell, leaving him hurt. Just then, a mysterious man sees the report about the incident at the Essex Institute and starts assembling weapons with his futuristic technology. He invades the prison and kills all the security guards. After locating the prison cell of Russell and Deadpool, the man advances towards them. He goes to the prison control room and sets off a bomb, causing all the cell doors to unlock, and everyone starts running. Thinking that the mysterious man is hunting him, Deadpool tells Russell to flee in another direction. However, when he realizes the man is actually chasing Russell, Deadpool decides to protect the boy and starts to fight. Due to the power-neutralizing collar, Deadpool is very weak. During the fight, the man shoots Deadpool's collar, breaking it and restoring Deadpool's powers. Despite regaining his powers, Deadpool is defeated, and the man turns his attention to Russell. Just as the man is about to shoot Russell with his high-powered gun, Deadpool gets up and attacks the man with a metal rod. While the man is still on the ground, Deadpool grabs his high-powered gun and increases its power to maximum. He then shoots the man, causing him to flee from the impact. With the gun in his hand, Deadpool demands answers about who the man is and what he wants. The man introduces himself as Cable and informs Deadpool that he is from the future. At that moment, Cable uses a magnetism device to draw the gun back to him and fires at the ceiling, knocking over a steel structure that nearly falls on Deadpool. Determined to stop Cable, Deadpool continues to go after him, resulting in another intense fight. Despite having his powers back, Deadpool is overpowered by Cable. Cable breaks Deadpool's arm, but Deadpool tries to strangle him with the broken arm. The arcade token card from Vanessa also falls out. After winning the fight, Cable takes the token as a souvenir, but Deadpool refuses to lose it. He gets up to try to retrieve it, but is met with another punch. Cable asks why Deadpool is trying to protect Russell. Unaware that Russell is listening, Deadpool responds that he doesn't care about the kid. Hearing this, Russell runs away and turns himself in. Deadpool then pulls a pin, causing an explosion so loud that they are both thrown out of the prison into the snowy mountains. Outside, they begin to roll through the snow. Cable manages to hang on to a rock, but Deadpool hits his head on a rock and falls unconscious into a frozen lake. He once again ends up in a kind of purgatory and begs to be allowed in. When Vanessa doesn't answer, he starts thinking about what she said last time and finally realizes that Russell is where his heart should be. When he realizes this, Wade returns to the real world. As he gets out of the freezing water, he goes straight to his friend Weasel. Weasel informed Wade that Russell would be transferred to a maximum security prison in an armored transport vehicle in a few days. To rescue the boy, Wade decided to gather a team of superheroes. Deadpool hired the best of the best and called his team X-Force. After his team is formed, Weasel heads back to his bar. But on his way, Cable captured and tied him up. He immediately gave the mercenary information about Russell and X-Force. Meanwhile, Russell remembered Deadpool's words about Juggernaut and tried to befriend the giant, bringing him food from the prison cafeteria several times. He was able to secure the friendship of the strongest man. On the day of the transfer, Russell and the other prisoners are loaded onto a transport truck and taken to another prison. Deadpool and his team jumped from a helicopter, planning to intercept the transport vehicle carrying the prisoners. However, due to strong winds, everything went wrong, and almost all team members died upon landing, except for Deadpool and Domino, whose superpower was incredible luck. She quickly took control of the vehicle by throwing the driver onto the road. Cable also boarded the truck, but Deadpool's arrival distracted him, causing the mercenary to temporarily forget his main objective. While Deadpool unsuccessfully tried to jump onto the vehicle, Domino fought a powerful enemy. Thanks to her luck, she held her ground for a while, but Cable overpowered her and was about to kill her. Fortunately, Deadpool intervened, stopping Cable. Cable drew his gun and emptied the entire magazine at Deadpool, who skillfully dodged almost all the bullets. Domino returned to the driver's seat of the truck, which had completely lost its brakes. Russell took advantage of the moment to free himself from his cell and then released the enormous Juggernaut, who with a mighty blow destroyed the transport vehicle and the road beneath it. Everyone survived the brutal fall, but Juggernaut immediately charged at Deadpool, tearing his body into two pieces. Deadpool's upper half tried to apologize to Russell, but the boy declared that he had already found a new friend, with whom he planned to destroy the hated director of the orphanage. Domino carried Wade's battered body to Blind Al, where he quickly regenerated his lower half. Unexpectedly, Cable appeared, asking for their help, as he couldn't defeat Juggernaut alone. The mercenary explained that after killing the orphanage director, Russell would become a supervillain and eventually kill Cable's entire family. Cable has her daughter's teddy bear, which was also burnt when Russell attacked them. He carries that teddy bear as her daughter's last memory. He has only 2 charges in his artifact, meaning he can travel in time only twice. One charge is used to come to the moment he attacked the prison, and the other charge is for him to go back in future to his family after defeating Russell. Deadpool agreed to help, on the condition that Cable let him talk to Russell first. Deadpool believes that he can change him. Cable agrees to it, giving Deadpool only 30 seconds to talk to Russell. Deadpool asked Colossus for help against Juggernaut, but the big guy refused, as he was very disappointed from his past behavior. The team arrived at the orphanage almost simultaneously with Russell and Juggernaut. They tried to persuade the boy to stop, but he wouldn't listen. Russell blows the door open and furiously chases the director around the institute. Deadpool, Domino, and Cable, armed with his powerful future weapon, fought Juggernaut, but they were no match for the incredibly strong giant. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, Colossus decided to help his friend. He realized that Juggernaut was much stronger and tried to defeat him using dirty tricks. Domino infiltrated the orphanage, where she was attacked by guards. However, thanks to her luck, she quickly dealt with them. As the exits are blocked by fire, Domino and the children are trapped until Juggernaut throws a bus through a window, creating an escape route. She led the frightened children out of the burning building. Deadpool and Cable rushed into the orphanage, trying to stop the enraged Russell from killing the director. But the boy wouldn't listen and hurled fireballs at them. Colossus lost the fight to Juggernaut, but then Negasonic and Yukio appeared, helping the steel giant shove a live electric cable. Deadpool tries to persuade Russell to stop the killing. He approaches Russell and apologizes for not looking out for him at the prison. He told him that he cared about him and hugged him, but Russell finds his words hard to believe and shoots him with a fireball. Deadpool then puts on a power-dampening collar and asks Russell to kill him if he wants to. Realizing that there is no other option left, Cable jumps at the gun with 1 bullet left and shoots at Russell. But Deadpool took the bullet, suffering a fatal injury. Russell cried, realizing that Deadpool had sacrificed himself for him. He now knew that he cared for him. Suddenly, Cable's burnt teddy bear, which he always carried, became whole and clean, indicating that the future had changed. Deadpool refused to remove the collar, saying he had fulfilled his mission and soon died. Wade reunited with Vanessa, who warmly embraced her fiancé, but assured him that his time had not yet come. She asks him to go back to his family in the real world, as they need him. Cable decided to travel back a few minutes, using the last charge of his artifact to save Deadpool. The mercenary went back to the moment they arrived at the orphanage, placing the arcade token in Wade's chest harness. Cable shoots at Russell again, but this time the bullet hits the token, saving Deadpool's life. Deadpool realized what his friend had done, sacrificing his chance to return to the future to save him. The mercenary explained that the most important thing was the safety of his family, and he planned to stay in this time to help the X-Men prevent the approaching apocalypse. Russell helped Deadpool remove the collar, and the team left the orphanage together. Suddenly, the orphanage director appeared, shouting that he hated the mutants who had burned down his beloved orphanage. Unexpectedly, Dopinder arrived in his car and ran over the evil director, splattering him. In the post-credits scene, Negasonic and Yukio fix Cable's time-traveling device. Being Deadpool, he started causing chaos by traveling to different points in time in hopes of changing the future. However, these actions created disturbances in the timeline. But suddenly in the future, Deadpool is at the very spot where Logan was buried in the Logan movie. Deadpool starts digging at Logan's grave, hoping that Logan might still be alive. However, when Deadpool digs him up, there is a skeleton, indicating that Logan is indeed dead. This makes Deadpool slightly disappointed, but he sits with Logan's skeleton and talks to it, expressing how much he needs him. Just then, multiple portals from the Time Variance Authority, TVA, open up, and TVA agents come out to capture Deadpool. Deadpool brutally fights and kills all the TVA agents. He uses the bones of the skeletons to kill the agents. But to understand how Deadpool got here, we must know the backstory. Earlier, Deadpool used the Time Traveler artifact to travel in different times. It all started on March 14, 2018, when Deadpool used it to travel to Earth 616, which is the main MCU universe. There, he meets Happy and asks him to join the Avengers. He tells him about his skills and powers, asking to join the Avengers. Happy, however, explains that being an Avenger is about helping people because they need them, not just because of one's abilities. Disappointed, Deadpool returns to his universe and resumes his normal life. However, he is now quite happy in his life. He takes Dopinder's cab back to his home where his birthday party was planned. Dopinder got married to Geeta and had 2 kids. Upon reaching home, he sees some men discreetly taking pictures of him. He ignored it and joined the party. Deadpool thanks all his friends for coming to his party. However, just as Deadpool is about to cut his birthday cake, someone arrives at the door. When Deadpool goes to see who it is, TVA agents grab him and pull him through a portal, taking him directly to the TVA headquarters. Once there, Deadpool meets a senior TVA officer named Paradox, who greets Deadpool in a manner reminiscent of how Mobius met Loki in the Loki series. Paradox explains everything to Deadpool about what the TVA is and how it operates. TVA is the watchdog authority of the sacred timelines. Deadpool realizes that the TVA agents have taken him because he caused disturbances in the timelines using Cable's time machine device. Paradox explains to Deadpool that he has been chosen for a higher purpose. If he fulfills this mission, it will help the TVA save the sacred timelines. They want him to be part of the Avengers. On several screens, various time events play out. In one event, Thor is seen crying over an injured Deadpool. Enthusiastically, Deadpool asks about it, but Paradox urges him to focus on the present for now. They want Deadpool to go to Earth 616 and live his life there. Hearing this, Deadpool becomes very happy, as he always wanted to go to Earth 616 and become an Avenger. The only thing he asks in return is a nice suit for him. He was given a brand new suit, which Deadpool loved. He also receives 2 adamantium swords, preparing himself for his new journey. Fully prepared, Deadpool goes to Paradox and tells him to quickly send him back to his universe so he can inform Vanessa and his friends that he is heading to Earth 616. However, Paradox informs Deadpool that there is no point in going back to his universe because it is slowly collapsing and will cease to exist within 72 hours. Paradox further explains that Deadpool's universe, named Earth 1005, is the same one where Logan died in the 2017 Logan movie. He tells Deadpool that in every universe there is an anchor, and when that anchor disappears, the universe starts collapsing. In Deadpool's universe, the anchor was Logan, and since died a year ago, the universe has been collapsing. Hearing this, Deadpool is frustrated and urges Paradox to stop this destruction. Paradox, however, reveals that he wants the universe to collapse. He shows Deadpool a machine called the Time Ripper, which can destroy any universe in an instant. Paradox explains that the TVA usually lets collapsing universes fade away gradually, but he prefers to end them quickly, like uprooting a dead tree. This makes Paradox more excited. Paradox then tells Deadpool that once the Time Ripper is ready, he will use it to destroy Deadpool's universe in a second. However, since his superiors have allowed Deadpool to go to the MCU universe, he suggests Deadpool forget about his old universe and move on. He gives Deadpool two choices. First, to return to his home and spend time with his family and friends for 72 hours, or be part of the Avengers to serve higher purposes. Enraged by Paradox's plan, Deadpool decides to take matters into his own hands. Determined to save his universe, Deadpool hits Paradox and snatches the machine that creates portals from him. He leaps and uses it to open a portal and escape. Now, Deadpool begins his quest to find another version of Logan. This brings us to the present moment where Deadpool is fighting the TVA agents. After killing all the TVA agents one by one, he continues his search for Wolverine. He travels through numerous universes in his quest. In one universe, he finds a tiny Wolverine. He also encounters a Wolverine who is missing both arms and another who is blind in one eye. These Wolverines beat up Deadpool and chased him away. Despite these setbacks, Deadpool eventually finds a Wolverine sitting inside a bar. Deadpool, being reluctant, tries to talk to this Wolverine. When Deadpool asks Wolverine to come with him, Wolverine refuses. Deadpool pulls out a gun and points it at him, forcing him to follow him. But Wolverine instead drank a whole bottle of beer and passed out. Deadpool drags him by the leg through a TVA portal and brings him directly to TVA headquarters. Deadpool presents the unconscious Wolverine to Paradox and insists that he needs to be sent to his universe and made the core strength of his universe to prevent its collapse. Paradox, upon seeing this Wolverine, tells Deadpool that this version is the worst Wolverine and cannot be the anchor of his universe. This Wolverine was the reason for the deaths of hundreds of people in his universe. Paradox also reminds Deadpool that he had the chance to live a good life in the MCU universe, but chose to deceive the TVA and kill their agents. As a result, Paradox decides to send both Deadpool and Wolverine to the Void, the place we saw in the Loki series. Paradox then throws both of them into the Void. Once inside the Void, Wolverine sobers up, grabs Deadpool, and demands to know why he was brought there. Following this confrontation, a fight begins between Deadpool and Wolverine. In their heated confrontation, Wolverine stabs Deadpool with his claws. Deadpool urges Wolverine to calm down so they can talk. Just as Wolverine is about to strike Deadpool's face, Deadpool shouts for him to stop. He reveals to Wolverine that the TVA has the power to undo the chaos caused in their universes and explains that his universe is collapsing. Deadpool proposes that they work together to fix the situation. Wolverine pauses, considers the offer, and agrees to join him. Just then, a man nearby warns them about a powerful witch named Cassandra Nova, who will kill them if they stay here. Just as he speaks, several vehicles arrive. It was Cassandra Nova's army. The man decides to join Deadpool and Wolverine. The man turns out to be Captain America. But since Deadpool had time traveled, it was way back before Captain America became the first Avenger. He was a Human Torch. As Cassandra's army arrives, they all join together. Human Torch flies in the air and uses his firepower to attack. But he wasn't powerful and his attack had no impact. Consequently, he fell on the banner and hit the ground. One of the men challenges Wolverine to fight. Deadpool draws his swords out from Wolverine's body and motivates him to kill him. Wolverine swiftly kills the man with a single blow. Deadpool takes the dead man's head and starts flaunting around. However, with some magnetic device, they captured Wolverine and Deadpool and also were able to take Human Torch with them. While the trio was being transported, Human Torch informed Deadpool and Wolverine about a huge monster in Cassandra's army named Alioth, saying no one can defeat it. Wolverine insists they'll escape and return to the TVA, but Human Torch laughs, explaining that Cassandra decides everything. If they don't follow what she says, they'll be fed to lions. Upon arrival, Cassandra Nova's headquarters is located inside the body of a giant Ant-Man. Cassandra enters, and her army includes various mutants and even a variant of Juggernaut. She approaches Deadpool and Wolverine and reveals that she is the twin sister of Professor Charles Xavier. When they were not born, Charles tried to kill her by strangling her with the umbilical cord, but she somehow survived. Deadpool then starts provoking her by saying that Human Torch told them about her, calling her a bald, psychotic witch. He continues to insult her with various remarks. Infuriated by these comments, Cassandra Nova strips the skin off Human Torch's body in a single motion, resulting in his death. Just then, they notice Ajax, the giant monster, approaching. Now Cassandra plans to make Deadpool and Wolverine her slaves as well. Enraged by her words, Wolverine attempts to attack her, but Cassandra, with just one finger, subdues him, pushing him into the ground without even touching him. Seeing this, Deadpool says he doesn't want any trouble and just wants to go home. Cassandra responds, saying she can send him home, but she won't. She then digs her fingers through Deadpool's face. By doing this, she sees all the memories of Deadpool. Just then, Wolverine stabs Cassandra from behind with his claws, and Deadpool also stabs her with his knife. However, Cassandra laughs as she is unaffected. She leaves, and Ajax, the monster, approaches them, ready to devour them. Every mutant starts running to save themselves. As Ajax approaches, Deadpool and Wolverine spot a machine. They quickly activate it and manage to escape, flying far away from the imminent danger. After arriving in a distant place, Deadpool and Wolverine notice a small dog running towards them. This little dog turns out to be Dogpool, a canine version of Deadpool, Mary Poppins. Following Dogpool is another version of Deadpool who introduces himself as Nicepool. Nicepool intensified himself as a feminist. Nicepool informs them that there are many other versions of Deadpool here. Wolverine tells Nicepool that they are planning to go far away from this place to the borderlands. Hearing this, Nicepool offers them his car, suggesting they use it to facilitate their escape. Deadpool and Wolverine take Nicepool's car and drive far away. Deadpool wanted the dog Deadpool to come with them, but Wolverine takes it and gives it back to Nicepool. Inside the car, Deadpool starts mocking Wolverine's suit, causing Wolverine to get agitated and tell him to shut up. Deadpool then asks Wolverine what he would do first if the TVA fixes his universe. Wolverine, catching the "if," becomes suspicious and stabs Deadpool in the legs, angered that Deadpool isn't sure if the TVA can fix his universe. Deadpool explains that he took a calculated risk because he wants to save his world, which to him means saving 9 people. He believes Wolverine can help him achieve that. Feeling betrayed by Deadpool's uncertainty, Wolverine calls Deadpool the dumbest and most immature person he's ever met in his 200 years of life. He blames Deadpool for failing to maintain a relationship with his girlfriend and says that saving the universe is out of his league. Deeply hurt by Wolverine's words, Deadpool engages in a fight. They fight continuously for hours, leaving the car covered in blood. They both end up exhausting themselves until they both pass out. At this point, X-23 appears, and she takes both of them into the car and drives them away. It's revealed that this X-23 is the same one seen in the Logan movie. When Deadpool and Wolverine regain consciousness, they find themselves inside a house where they are greeted by Elektra, Blade, Gambit, and X-23. In conversation, Deadpool and Wolverine find out that the group is impressed by their survival against Cassandra Nova. Believing that Deadpool and Wolverine are powerful, they plan to form a team to defeat Cassandra Nova, who has caused immense chaos in this world. They make all necessary preparations and set out to confront Cassandra Nova. Upon reaching her, they are met by her numerous enslaved mutants, including a variant of Juggernaut. A fierce battle ensues, with Elektra, Gambit, Blade, and X-23 handling the mutants on the ground, while Deadpool and Wolverine head straight for Cassandra Nova. But Cassandra, with her psychic power, threw Deadpool away. The plan is revealed. Cassandra Nova possesses psychic powers, which can only be neutralized by a helmet similar to Magneto's. However, Cassandra had previously destroyed Magneto and his helmet. Deadpool suggests using Juggernaut's helmet instead. Meanwhile, Cassandra also overpowered Wolverine and stuck her finger inside his head. She was then able to see all of Wolverine's memories. She saw how Wolverine had let down his fellow X-Men members. They had called for his help, but he had left them. When he finally returned, he found them all dead. Consumed by anger and grief, Wolverine began a rampage, killing not just the bad people responsible, but also losing control and killing good people as well. Whereas, during the fight, X-23 manages to cut off Juggernaut's legs and throws his helmet to Deadpool, who then puts it on Cassandra Nova's head, who was seeing Wolverine's memories. The helmet neutralizes her powers. As they are about to kill her, one of Cassandra's slaves shoots her, declaring his long-awaited vengeance. Wolverine quickly kills the shooter. However, Wolverine convinces Deadpool to remove the helmet, trusting Cassandra not to harm them. Deadpool takes off her helmet, and she is softened by Wolverine's gesture. Wolverine informs her that he knows his brother Charles Xavier. If Charles knew she was alive, then he would have turned the world upside down to bring her back home, as he is a changed man. He loved her, but Cassandra wants to stay where she is, and it is her home now. She warns them of the impending arrival of the monster Alioth and urges them to leave for their universe. She shows them a relic belonging to Doctor Strange. She explains that many years ago, a powerful wizard named Doctor Strange came to this place. Although he was powerful, she managed to defeat him and kept his relic. Without any delay, Deadpool and Wolverine step through the portal and return to their universe. Meanwhile, Cassandra Nova confronts the man who shot her. She finds him still alive and asks why he tried to kill her. The man reveals that the paradox inside the TVA instructed him to do so, promising to free him from this world if he succeeded in killing her. Hearing this, Cassandra becomes furious. She opens a portal and travels to Deadpool's universe, where the paradox is currently residing. Following Deadpool and Wolverine, Cassandra arrives and captures the paradox. She sticks her fingers inside his head to read his mind. She learns that he has built a machine capable of destroying any universe or timeline. A devious plan forms in Cassandra's mind. She decides to use the machine to erase all universes, leaving only the void, over which she would reign supreme. Seeing this, Deadpool and Wolverine try to stop her, but she easily throws them aside. She then leaves and heads straight for the Time Reaper machine. Whereas, before the portal closes, Dogpool comes running toward Deadpool, who lifts him with affection. Nicepool followed closely behind Dogpool. Suddenly, Deadpool and Wolverine noticed Ladypool emerging from the portal. Behind her was an entire army of different versions of Deadpool. They were all bloodthirsty and worked for Cassandra. Deadpool tried to convince them to stop her, warning them of the serious consequences, but they didn't listen and attacked. To save himself, Deadpool used Nicepool as a shield and hid behind a car. He then asked Nicepool how long it would take for him to regenerate, but Nicepool didn't regenerate. As the other Deadpools approached, Deadpool ran to the next car, again using Nicepool as a shield, but this time Nicepool died. Wolverine, on the other hand, took Dogpool and approached Deadpool. The other Deadpools loved Dogpool, so they didn't shoot Wolverine. With no other choice, Deadpool and Wolverine decided to fight all the versions of Deadpool. Deadpool took Nicepool's gold-plated guns. Wolverine donned his mask, which Deadpool found badass. They fought half of the Deadpools, but when they saw Kid Deadpool, they started laughing. Deadpool and Wolverine found it weird, but soon realized that all the Deadpools they fought regenerated. Just then, another version of Deadpool arrived and turned out to be a friend of Deadpool. They all cheered and decided to stop fighting. Now, Deadpool and Wolverine run to the paradox, asking how they can stop her. The paradox tells them that while Cassandra is too powerful to be stopped directly, they can disable the machine. He explains that the machine has two wires, one for matter and one for antimatter. If they can somehow connect these two wires, it will create a massive short circuit, destroying the machine and Cassandra along with it. But the paradox also tells them that whoever does this will be destroyed as well, because when the short circuit occurs, the machine will explode violently, taking everything with it. Hearing this, Deadpool and Wolverine assure him that they will be fine because they have healing factors. However, the paradox warns them that this machine spares no one, and they both will die if they decide to take up this mission. Despite hearing this, The courageous duo heads to the machine to stop Cassandra. As they were about to enter the room where the machine was stored, Wolverine asked Deadpool to stay behind and let him handle it. He reminded Deadpool of his family and friends, and how he has a happy life waiting for him. Just as Wolverine opened the door, Deadpool hit him and locked him inside, determined to do it alone and save Wolverine's life. Through the doors, he asked Wolverine to say hi to his friends. Cassandra was operating the machine to speed up its integration process. Deadpool holds one wire and struggles to pull it to the other. Paradox watches and the timeline integrity goes down to 2% and loses all his hopes. Just then, Wolverine breaks down the door and quickly comes to Deadpool's aid. He grabs Deadpool with one hand and the other wire with the other hand. Through Deadpool's and Wolverine's bodies, the circuit was not complete. This causes a short circuit and the machine explodes, killing Cassandra Nova and disintegrating both Deadpool and Wolverine. As they die, Deadpool's memory flashes before his eyes. Whereas, Hunter B-15 approaches Paradox with many guards and arrests him for creating a machine capable of erasing any universe in an instant without the TVA's knowledge. Hunter B-15 tells Paradox that the TVA will take action against him and punish him accordingly. Just then, Deadpool and Wolverine arrive. Paradox was shocked seeing them both and asked how they survived. They explained that if either of them had done it alone, they would have been completely destroyed. But since they did it together, the explosion's impact was halved, allowing them to heal themselves. Thus, by short-circuiting the machine, they managed to end everything. Hunter B-15 expresses her respect for Deadpool and Wolverine for saving all the universes. Therefore, she tells them that they can now leave happily. They both leave back to Deadpool's universe. Deadpool tells Wolverine that if he wants, he can stay with him like family. Wolverine agrees and starts living with Deadpool. As they reach Deadpool's house, he introduces Logan to all his family. See, they are all very happy in their lives, and the movie ends on this note. As the movie ends, a credit scene appears on the Paradox's timeline screen when Deadpool, Wolverine, and Human Torch were captured and brought to Cassandra Nova. Human Torch was talking to Deadpool and Wolverine, calling Cassandra Nova a bald bully and saying many bad things about her. All Deadpool did was quote him word for word in front of Cassandra. The movie ends here. This is Buff Recap Channel. Stay safe and thanks for watching.